everybody, welcome back to another episode of your favorite show, The Get Real Show. Today we have a super interesting question at hand. Why are African men scared to date African women in diaspora? Why are African men scared to date African women in diaspora? Let's hear it from the men. Today I'm seated with 3 men, and like I mentioned earlier, today's topic is why are African men scared to date African women in diaspora? So I'm going to start with Tunji, because I know Tunji has a lot to say.
I don't have a lot to say. Why?
One more talkie.
Why are we scared? I don't know.
Are you not scared?
I'm not.
But why do you think African men are scared?
I think it all depends. I think, with all due respect, perception is one of the major things that I see here. Like, you need to ask yourself, what is the perception of, let me take Nigeria as an example. You know, I know we're talking about Africa, but Nigeria as an example, the perception that majority have is this, that majority of the, like some women, majority of the women in diaspora, especially when you don't have, how do I put it? When you don't have like, when you're fending for yourself, you know, you're taking care of yourself, your bills and all of that. Not like maybe you're studying, you know, there's always an exception when you realize that maybe the woman is studying, maybe the parents sent her to come and study. Maybe she's living with, you know, a family member. But I think the contention more is always on the ones that, you know, just sponsor themselves abroad. Okay, I'm trying to not be judgmental. I'm trying to choose my word, but it's a perception thing, and I don't think any man should be scared. If you're clear about what you want to do, if you're clear about the person. And also sometimes I've also seen a situation where a Nigerian woman abroad also does not even want to move with Nigerian men abroad as well. Yeah, in terms of, you know, she finds herself more comfortable, you know, just staying with other things. So yeah.
Ori.
Okay. I feel like maybe I should put it this way, because maybe I'm not. Everything is not 100%, but what we've seen so far, it's like majority. Like majority of the African women that left African continent for greener pasture, you know, when they get to abroad, they become a user. Is it that they are looking for a man who has already been made, like having the citizenship and everything there, and you know, they will be with that man for the citizenship, so they can get their paper. Once they get their paper, they become boss, because the environment there give women power more than the men. So you will end up seeing them maybe after 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, you know, chase their husband away, call the police on them, do all sorts of things. So a lot of them, once they get the citizenship, they japa, you know. So, and some of them too, once they see that, okay, maybe this guy doesn't have a paper already, they don't want to go through that stress. So they would rather go with another foreigner who has already been made, have paper, have everything, and go with them. So because we've seen them over and over on social media and so many things, you know, even before the social media came, we've seen some African women where they are, maybe the guy will come from abroad, get married to them in Africa, take them overseas, within 7 years, begin go happen. They go shake the man away. They will begin to bring excuse or the other. So with all this constant revelation, guys begin to like, you know, go happen, no, I no go do more. So you don't blame them.
Okay. Victor.
Well, I think there's so many aspects of um, African men not wanting or not eligible to date fellow African women in diaspora. Either, or let's say from my own perspective, we all came here for one reason or the other, right? And there's this saying, man, I don't know how I'm gonna put it. There's this saying, a prophet isn't
Respected in his own.
in his own hometown, right? So it's more like saying that we know each other. Like I know you, we coming from same place. I know you. This is not time for play. This is not time for us to do whatever. But but at the end of the day, it takes two mature minds to get it right, to get together and know like, okay, we came here for this and things are working. We can do this, we can do that. But it's very rare to see these two, right? So, but in my own perspective, I felt like for me, it's nothing wrong, but I don't cherish it more when it comes to me particularly because I think um, 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 I don't want to have someone else burden to me for now. Because remember, we have types of people here people that are studying, people that are just hustling like you, or people that are doing one thing or the other to survive as well. So you don't have to be a burden to someone else because why you coming from same place, right? But if it gets to that point whereby you get to know this person and then you feel like okay it's time for you to settle down, if it goes well with you too, I think there's nothing wrong. But I'm trying to make a point that it's very hard to see this these things being compatible when you're coming from same place or other African continent. Is very hard. You know, I always find people from Congolese, Cameroon, and all that. But you find out like if the relationship they always fight because now they know each other. There's no, I don't know how I'm gonna put it. There's no atom of respect. There's some people that they respect whosoever, you know. But at the end of the day, you find out like they're knowing each other from home, knowing fully well that this is what you're capable of doing, or this is what I'm capable of doing. In where I'm coming from, they say it's see finish. You know when you know someone in and out, you know already this is what this person is capable of doing. This is what. So I think basically, from me, it's very rare. It's not like there's something bad, right? It's very rare to for people to adapt to date same place where they are when they're coming from same country as well.
I think Melody also what what drives the female to the country is also important
True.
in terms of what is she doing. Like that also plays major role. Trust me. In terms of like what are you doing? Do you get my point? And Victor just mentioned that you find out maybe in a country like Europe, or you find yourself in a country like where we are in, where whatever you want, whatever you need to do, the citizen gets more preferential reference first. So now it still boils down to, think about it. Maybe a guy is probably still surviving. Maybe he has probably not even getting his paper sorted out yet. And now even you also you don't even have a paper yet. And now so let's say you're doing something that maybe what I don't agree to. And okay, I want to make you change that. That means if you're telling someone to start up a new life, you should be able to shoulder them for a while. In terms of their bills, their rent, their food, and stuff like that. So it's really a lot. So, but it is easier when, let's say, the person was sent to the country to study, maybe by our parents or by a guardian. Whereby okay, the person is also stable in a way. Then I know that okay, this person is here to school. You're on my shoulder, and also like I see that you're actually studying, not doing some things that that may not be
And then,
that may be an eyesore.
and another thing that I want to chip in is, most of the time, like what Ori said, women they have upper hand wherever, like in
Especially in
diaspora.
Europe. Yeah, in
You know,
Europe.
so and some guys knew already that if our ladies knew the situation or they are right, though they knew about it, but when I'm trying to say that when someone comes from Africa, there's a mentality the lady has, but when she settle, she will find out like there's a lot more of a power given to them,
Of course, because
right?
of the country
So most of the guys, they don't actually want to get to that point because this person might know, okay, this is where I stand. So any given time, she might be a trouble to you. And some people also want to bring someone from home, right? And then come to them, not someone that already there and knows a lot. But moreover, when you bring someone, it's more like it's when she learn also, she starts misbehaving. Like Ori said, there's 85% of ladies, they do that when they come abroad. You know, they want to show like, okay, since I've gotten this power, small thing they can tell you, you need to leave the house. But this is a house you have been staying for years before she came. You get what I mean? So those things are the things that you might look at it and then you say like it's very hard for people to date people from Africa or from their own country in diaspora. You know,
Sometimes it doesn't even have to be from like maybe Nigeria. It can be Nigeria, Cameroon, Nigerian, Ghana, and all these things. Yeah, you see, the problem is once they have children with you, then once they have children for you like this, and because they've already know the system, as soon as they get there, they mingle with one or two things. They know the dividends, the payout they will be getting for the children. So their best way is to chase the husband away. So for them to be getting that money, thinking they will be able to take care of the kids alone, of which they will be doing that, collecting that money, and maybe the father will still be paying some child support, all these things. So now everything is for them. So men, see, we will be scared. Like, it's not going to be like this. So let me say, also for my future first before all this kind. You don't understand, because in Europe, like the women have the power. They have the power. That is why you have a lot of like you have the percentage of divorcee and everything. Not so as if we don't have divorcee in Africa and all these things, but because of the power, and this level of like 50-50, or can you come before your husband do something, you don't call police.
They know they don't have a lot to lose. They have a lot to
Gain. So all this money, all these things, those are the things that make men scared. Like,
and another thing, guys, I've noticed when you try to ask a foreigner lady out, right? She will be like, "You're not serious." So the same way, remember, the same way we felt about them is the same way they also feel. They will feel that like you're not serious.
That is true.
No, but some will say, I've heard someone say, no, go and hustle first.
Yeah.
Go and
Yeah, because that's what you came for.
Yeah.
go and hustle first. Like, it's not, because the person will tell you, give you an advice. Say no.
But I think I understand where they're coming from though, because they believe that they're also here to hustle. So if you're now asking them out, you're obviously not even ready to be in something. So you hustle. Because she's also out there hustling anyways.
Exactly.
So I get where she's coming from when she says something like that.
D is out there hustle and the guy is also out there hustle. Why can't we be together? Why must it be? But the motive is like, the problem is the majority always look for the benefit, chase the guy out, collect the house, collect the motor, collect everything. What the guys have achieved over like 15, 30, 16 years.
Someone will be able to say, because that's the truth. Someone will be able to say, okay, if I want to do this business, will you be able to? If I want to do some certain things, there's also so many expectations that comes with it. Like it's just that there's another episode that I saw sometime of another thing in where he says a South African lady is talking about the difference between a South African lady and a Nigerian lady. So it's all just, there are certain expectations.
Yeah.
But are you going to be able to meet it? True. So and women are very futuristic in their thinking. Like, a woman can just size you up once and just know, This is not gonna work. Yeah. A woman can just, she'll just calculate you. Head to toe, I'm like, no, this one.
Even the one they knows that is going to work, the one that know that this one is made, that has money, it will come to Africa, bring the woman to the overseas. Within 4 years, 5 years, they will play loyalty and everything. After them, once they have 1 or 2 children like this, bam, problem starts. They will begin to come up with one story or the other. They will call the police. See, you need to. Our problem is, why is it only Africa? There are some other continents, for example, the Asia, like they come, not as if they will not have something like this, but one, you will never see it outside there.
Do you want me to tell you why?
Okay.
Good. The reason is because, and with all due respect, until we stop seeing these things as a means of acquiring and benefiting and joining together, we will never find a way. A lot of these people we're talking about see it as marriage as something that I need to use to gain an asset.
Yeah.
Relationships that I need to use to gain an asset. We are not seeing it as helping each other to grow. That's the problem. It is what will make somebody look at another person because you think he doesn't have a car now. You think he can't have in the next 2-3 years. You think because he's in a certain level now, you think he can't do this until you see that look. And I don't want to do anything for anybody with motive. I want to be there to make life easier for you. So if that is the motive of both parties, things will go fine. But we need to stop seeing it as means to achieve something for myself, acquire something for myself, benefit for myself.
But do you know that some foreigner ladies, they felt like if they are dating you, or if they marry you right here, right, in diaspora, they feel like at a later stage, you might go to get someone else to marry. They feel like you used, some of them will feel like you using them for that moment. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, if I'm not, I see what I'm saying, Victor. If you are not the one, if it's not like I'm depending on you as a man, which means you're also right. You realize also that in Europe, most especially, right, Melody, you see a guy, or let's not say women alone, you see a guy also, a woman will sponsor the guy.
That's what I'm saying.
To Europe.
That's what I'm saying.
Come now, the woman will be a normal woman. After the man gets paper finished now, that's when you want to now say, okay, you want to go and marry another person. So that is also not good as well. Do you know what I mean? So
it's not like
let's not. It's not about the women. It's both parties. So let's not be using each other, man. There's no need. So like Victor, you're very correct, because if I'm not depending, if the guy is not depending on you, there's no way, you get my point. There's no way he's using you if there's an understanding that, all this thing. But it's different. But like now, in my own thing, I've only seen a guy that got married to a girl that in diaspora, like one out of like hundreds of people that I know. Just one.
That's what I'm saying. It's very rare, because we all came for one particular thing or the other. So everybody wants to focus. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that people can do it. They can do it. But I think
some will even tell you, Melody, I mean, someone will tell you, the lady will tell you, nah, relationship I come abroad can't do.
Do you get what I mean?
It means
that's why I said most of them
for relationship.
Most of them they will tell you,
and
you're not serious.
It's sad. You won't blame such myself, because you want to tell somebody that only God knows what she went through before she could be able to gather money for ticket and visa. To even get money and visa to come to the country. Only God knows what she goes through to even be able to have a room over her roof. So
honestly, you can't blame everybody.
Blame care, never.
You can't blame anybody. Everybody's doing what they're doing.
You can't blame both the genders.
You can blame care.
We
can't even judge anybody.
We
cannot.
And moreover,
but my question, my own problem is, why this kind of attitude is among
Towards your own-
it's is
Yeah,
among
only-
is among
it's
African people.
Because we see it as something to until we see it as something to help each other. If we keep seeing it as something that I need to acquire and achieve, seeing the next person as a means of getting certain things, we're still going to keep perambulating.
My thing is, Ori, I feel like it's fine. Go on.
You feel like what?
See, you see some Asia countries, Asia people like China, India, where their women are into tech and earning a lot of money. At the end of the day, they will still be staying with their husband that is earning as little as he can.
their culture that
And
side,
you know, see, it's because they are stick to their culture. It's because they don't want to be anyone else.
You know, I think, you know, we only know what we go through. In our heads, what we go through, it's only us going through it. But in other cultures, they also think it.
Going through. But the problem is we are washing our clothes outside every time. Man carry you enter Yankee, he carry you enter Europe. The best thing after 3 years, you pursue and come outside. Can you do it out in Africa?
Way though.
We've seen a lot.
It happens, but it's not always that way.
talking about the majority.
Yes, I guess.
This happens. This thing, like I know of Europe.
We've seen a lot.
This is happen. There was even there is this particular page on IG that is actually what this couple, that is what it talks about most times. How African men and women in diaspora treat each other, either in the environment of marriage or whatever. Like they are sad stories, you know. Like to be honest,
It is very sad.
sad
It is very
stories.
sad. But I also feel like other nationalities are also going through the same thing, just that we do not know about it.
I see the people that are living in America, they always like, there is one guy that I followed some times ago. He was like, these things always happen to Africa alone, that you will hardly see a Chinese women taking their husband to court, chasing them outside.
and even not even that. I think I know the man you're talking about. I think he even said that there was a time. I think it was last year December. He actually said the percentage of Africans doing it to each other was higher than the citizens of America doing it to each other. Imagine that. Because we see it still boils down. See, Vic, still boils down to Africa needs to start. We need to stop seeing each other as a means to. I want to use her. I want to use him as a ladder. I want to. If you see marriage and relationship as I want to acquire, like there's no statements that gets me worked up than a lady telling a lady, advising a lady, collect wetin you wan collect to just in case he fucks up. There's no look at it's psychological. Look at something that they're putting someone else. And the same way as a man telling another man, quickly chop am you go soon go. We can't not ruin.
Guys, you know, this reminds me and a flashback of a story that is a real life story, right? This guy was owning a house, right? Not the guy, the lady, and they met, they got married. So it happens that the same house of the lady is where they are staying, right? But the lady always forced the guy to pay rent. So,
that means the guy didn't know that the house belongs to the wife.
Yes, and sometimes the lady finds the guy sometimes struggles to pay
For the rent.
So now what's come to worst, the lady wasn't around the day the agent came. You get what I mean? To bring eviction letter.
Hold on. So the whole time she's the owner.
The wife is the imagine. You see how deep that is. The wife is the owner of the house, and the husband keeps. You see.
And they're staying there in one of the flats. So the
agent came to evict them.
But all of a sudden, he can't meet up with the rentals. So the woman in question is busy pressurizing the agents to do something about it because he wants the husband to pay. But she knew vividly well that the guy is struggling to pay.
And they married.
Yes, with kids even. So it happens that the agent came to serve the eviction letter, and then that's where the guy find out that this house belongs to the wife. So these things
Probably
are
they've
things.
been staying there
These things
maybe
are
for 4
things.
years.
These things are
These
things
guys have
happening
been-
in diaspora.
These guys
But
have
now,
been killing himself to parents.
to pay, the
Maybe at
woman
times-
knows
maybe
she's struggling to pay.
Maybe at times we even have to go and borrow.
You get the point now.
And
so
we are not saying this is only happening to men now.
No, it's
These
not.
things are, both.
That one was heavy. That
so
one
the
was
reason
very
why I'm saying
heavy.
that is because it's happening here in diaspora. The lady, her mindset is saving money, building something home, doing something for herself. Now, because why? They met in diaspora. So now you find out like they're not like going same direction. They're just married because they met here. They just got married. You get what I mean? So how can you be in such kind of...
That is dangerous.
I told somebody that prostitution, quote and unquote, is not on the street anymore. Prostitution it doesn't have to be on the street anymore.
No.
There are
Like
things
before.
that now it's before that you say prostitutes on the street. Now a prostitute can even be in a house or in a shop or in a relationship or in marriage settings.
Doing her
Because just think about that. Hence, I'm still saying we just want to go and acquire.
So
It's not now. Nobody is not saying
Nobody's
loving.
genuine at any
Nobody is not saying okay, loving. You see, and how did all of these things start? And these things are. I was saying it to some of my friends some time ago. Somebody would just wake up and say, "It's better for your heart to be broken in Dubai than for it to be broken in Lagos." Those are the comments that we are imitating and putting out there, and we now
And
cry.
they really meant it.
And we now be
They really
crying
meant it.
years later. I told somebody everything we decide to do
And I came
is still
across-
turning around.
And I came across a lady, she was ranting about some other girls. You don't have a proper house, you don't have education, you don't have this and that, but you having an iPhone, what's more of your living? You having a wig, what's more than what you earning, or what's more than what your lifestyle is? Do you get what I mean? I'm not blaming people that owns
But
it.
it's thinking smart, honestly.
Yeah, but I'm not blaming people that owns it. But at the end of the day, we must have direction. I think we must have direction. So if you look about those stories, that's what makes people in diaspora to find it very difficult to adapt with each other.
No, it's worse in Europe. No melody in Europe. You need to.
Yeah.
It's worse.
Want to get money on the children and everything, chase the man away.
Worse in Europe, you realize you see even family back home will be shocked. Yeah, even family back home will be shocked. That
And remember,
has this
guys-
woman turned to this?
And remember,
Has this
guys,
woman
we're
turned
not
to
talking
that?
about only the women here.
Both parties.
Both
of course,
parties,
yeah,
because
of course.
also when you talk about the ladies, you talk about the men, because also there's some men
I know-
when
I
they
know
bring
some-
when they bring their wife to diaspora, right? They started treating them like trash. I'm being honest now. I'm being honest. You have I've seen a guy, you own 3 cars, but you would prefer your wife to use taxi to go bring the kids from school.
That one is not a man.
But do you get what I mean? You letting this woman to suffer.
Bro, we're not talking about stupid men.
Stupid
today.
men. Yes,
Yeah,
there
my
are
sister-
stupid men out there.
My sister, close us. I don't even want to hear this kind. I don't even want to hear. I don't even want to hear this. That one is not a man.
They are
That
stupid
one
men.
a goat.
They are stupid.
I don't even want to give her this one chance.
He will tell you she think it's easy to make money.
Your own wife. How are you even married?
You know what I mean? So you bring her here to be a slave.
I don't even want us to talk about
get what I
such.
mean?
All those one are
You
not
bring her
men.
here.
That is not a man. That is men. Goat.
Someone that you have a cleaner before your wife came. You have a cleaner before your wife came, and then now she must stop working. Your wife now, okay. You know most of the ladies that in diaspora, they don't have the opportunity to work or to school. It takes few
That's not a
to
man,
get
my
into
bro.
school, right? Now you keep her in the house.
My bro, let's rest. That's not a man. Simple and short.
All right, guys. So you heard what we all had to say on this topic. You heard what the gents had to say. We want to know what you guys have to say down here in the comment section, because this is a very, very sticky situation. So please do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm your girl, Melody Farida Masamba. Till next time, take care.